Hi, Judy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Just waiting to see who was going to be joining me here. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. We're going to be playing with some very beautiful papers. Hi, Lori. Yes, it's gorgeous paper. Hi, Michelle. I should probably come in a little bit closer here so that you guys can see this stuff a little bit closer up. Um, I always never know how close I should come or how far away I should be so that people can see what I'm doing or not doing. How's everybody doing tonight? Gorgeous weather we're having, eh? Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. It's kind of that time of year when we've all been inside all winter long, and now we're like, oh, are we going to stay inside? Are we going to do some crafting? Not do some crafting? But it's been such a gorgeous, gorgeous weather. I hope you guys all had a really nice long weekend. Um, I've managed to do a mix of having company over, finally warm weather. Finally getting into the garden a little bit. Actually, this paper reminds me of getting into the garden. I've actually got to get my hummingbird feeders up. I don't have them up yet, and I need to actually. Anybody else? I've actually got my bird seed and stuff out. Does anybody else put hummingbird feeders up and do all of that? I actually did get some extra bird seed out into my feeders. Lots of birds out of my backyard, but I need to get the stuff out for my hummingbirds. I haven't done that yet. How's everybody doing tonight? Are you having a good day? Having a good week? It's going to be a short week. That's so good. So this is what we're playing with tonight. We are going to be working with this new collection from Graphic 45 called Flight of Fancy. It is a beautiful collection. I think Lynn said you had gotten some of this paper. So essentially, up at the cottage hummingbird feeders, yeah, I have a couple here in my backyard. So I'm playing with the what is this? The 8x8 collection pack, and the ephemera assortment pack. So this is what I've used to make this set of cards. So if I open up the collection pack here and show you, the paper is gorgeous. It is such a put it on this way. You can see how beautiful both sides of the paper. I mean, this is the problem when you get this paper. It's like, I don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut it. There are these gorgeous ones here, though, that make for the front of cards or little note cards. I actually made a couple little note cards out of it. So both sides of the paper are so beautiful to work with. So, and then you've got these little ones that you can work with as well. So I'll show you what I did. I'll show you up close. Oh, and these last ones here too make great for insides and for the front of cards. So let me show you up close what I did, and then we can make some things tonight. And then there's the whole, I'm going to actually dump this out. So this collection of ephemera, I'm going to dump into, there's a whole bunch of goodies in here. So I'm just going to dump it all out into my whole bunch of beautiful assortment of, like, look at that butterfly, is just stunning. You've got a real waterfall or watercolor feel to them. There's so many. In the collection that I've done here tonight of cards, I used very few of them. So you can see there's so many more to work with. So I'll give you some ideas from what I've worked with, and then you've got lots more to play with after that. So I'll start off. I've got a whole collection of cards, but I also made a tag. This is one of the Prima tags that look like this. Oh, so nice to hear that. I'm so glad, Judy. I loved that album, the P.S. I Love You album. That was a really special album. So I'm glad to hear that. So this is one of the Prima tags. You know, these are the ones that are self-adhesive. So I actually decided that I was going to make a tag using this collection. So this is the tag that I made using that. So we'll whip one of those together tonight. And then I did a couple of small little note cards, just kind of whipped off a couple of little note cards thinking they'd be great just to add to a gift, with the little cards that were just as I showed on that little paper. And then I did these four, I guess there's 5 here. 5 different cards. So it's just a couple of really basic ones. Again, I used some mirrored. Yeah, anybody can watch. Hi Linda. Hi Carolyn. So so I did pull up some I did pull out of my stash some mirrored cardstock for this one and one other one. And by the way, guys, after I did my live 2 weeks ago, Heather did order some in. It should be in, I would think, this week actually. She ordered in, remember, some of the green, she ordered in some purple. So this is called Soft Amethyst. She brought in some more gold. Actually, I've used some gold on the other ones. There's a selection of mirror cardstock coming back in. So this is some that I had in. And so I actually used some mirrored cardstock on this one and some of the selection. So some of you may have, hi Sienna, seen the kit that we had put together. So basically, guys, where these kits have come from. So the reason where the idea come, we weren't doing kits anymore, or not always. The idea had been that we were going to step away from doing major kits, kind of like the big P.S. I Love You album. The reason for that was the timing and how long it took to do those. A kit like that takes a long time it basically takes 2 weeks to put together instructions that are 20 pages long with all the photos, and then put all that together and then doing the lives with them. But when I was earlier this year, I think it was the Love Story collection that came out, the vintage Simple Stories Vintage is Love collection. I said I thought that would make a really nice little album, and I said I think we could do that up as a little kit for people, and without instructions, because hi Erin, because everybody could watch me do them. But wouldn't it be nice if everybody could just have all the, I'm going to say, ingredients in a little package, so that they wouldn't be out of stock in the store. They would just be a package that they could grab. So that's what we've been doing, is putting all of these ingredients together in a package and just putting them together so people could grab them. So that's what the Winnie the Pooh collection was. That's what the Remember collection was. That's what these card kits have been, so that everything is together. And when the collection comes to the store, we've been grabbing the things and putting together, so that, for instance, when I come to do my live like this, there was product. So in this one, I made the other thing that I started to do is add some cardstock in, because I thought, oh, it would be nice to actually have some matching cardstock to use for card bases. So in this case, I used some Bazille cardstock in. This one was called, if I can read it here, holy crap. Here, where are my glasses? Let my old eyes put some glasses on here. This one is called the Blue Oasis. It's a very turquoise. And then I used some coral from the Color Vibe collection. This is the ones that has the dots on the back side of it. And then just some plain white cardstock. So those are the 3 colors of cardstock that I've worked with. So it's the coral. I've got a white base that I made the card base from, and then I added the coral, and then the soft amethyst. And then I did another, and I'm going to walk through. We're going to make these. I did another one of my easel, twisted easel cards, and I used the white card base. I put the coral paper on it, and then the the paper on the inside. So we'll go through and we'll make one of those. Here's another. It's got the turquoise base. I put some Harvest Gold mirror on it. Used the Flight of Fancy paper on the top. And you can see that I've got some little, most of these have some, this one's got some, these are the Pink Fresh ombre dots. So if you actually look at them, you can see that they're actually change colors, or they're the ones that are shaded, a couple of different shades. These ones are kind of the pink and the gold, and because I thought that they looked lovely. So this card had some pearls on it. So this card here is a gatefold card, and then what I did was took one of the square note card types, and I just tucked it in over here and then opened it up like that with an opening. So and then we can, almost a scrapbook technique on the front of the card. Okay, and again I took another little scrapbook technique for a card. So this has a belly band on it for the card, and when we slide it off, so you can see I made it using a ribbon, and there is an ephemera piece in our collection here. That is this piece right here. So let me find it because we're going to need it when I do that one there. So I'll need that piece for later too, so I may as well pull it out right now. And I think I used that piece there. Where's my little belly band collection? I used this one for working on some stuff. Where is my, there it is. So there's the little belly band piece. And I put the ribbon on it. So I'm just going to slide it off. So it's just the ribbon, and then I glued the ribbon onto it. And then when I open it up, so it's got folds. It's almost like a little mini folio, but it can be a card. And on the inside, okay, Linda, thanks for stopping in. This is all a stencil. I took, and I'm going to do it here, I took broken china, Distress Oxide, and I stenciled the inside. Okay, so we will go through and we will do that. So let's get started making some cards here. So why don't we start with this one, which is the Have a Brilliant Day, and it is the easel card one. So if you remember, this is the cards. So I used a white cardstock. Sounds great, Linda. So, oh, I can't get up too high, or just the color. Taking a piece that is 6 inches by 12 inches across. We're going to score it in the middle at 6-inch mark, and then again, what we do is I use to get the score line on the diagonal here, I discovered that the best way to do this was to put it in the groove of my trimmer and to go from corner to corner and to put, so I want it to fold to the inside, right? So if this is the front cover, we want the card to fold to the inside. So as if you're folding it inside on itself. We did this last time. So I want to take the card and put it on like it's kind of upside down. And then I did the scoring from point to point in my trimmer. It's a scoring line actually on the trimmer, and I scored it there. So that's how I did my trim line there. Okay. And then I did my emboss mark on it, or I did my, oh, my mind has just gone blank. So I did my, what's that word, ladies? The word has just gone right out of my head. All I can think is buff. I buffed it. That's not the right word. I burnished it. I knew it began with a B. So I burnished it. So that is how, that's the base of my card. Okay. So now I'm going to do two things. I have cut this gorgeous piece of paper slightly less 6 by 6. So it says that it's got the wording, the peachy colored wording on the one side and the beautiful peachy colored flowers on the outside. Slightly less than 6 by 6, and I'm going to glue it to the inside. It's slightly less than 6 by 6 so that I know it's going to fit on the inside without it hampering the folding. Okay? Oh, I see it's. So let me glue that in place. Again, which paper did I use? Yep, I was going to say I started to glue on the wrong side. We want the writing showing rather than the flowers. Just, you could have the flowers, totally up to you. I just decided that I was going to do the writing showing. Why do we want pretty paper on the inside? Because you're going to see the inside when it's open. Make sure you got it right side up. And glue it in place. Oh, that didn't exactly go right. Oh well, I'm going to worry about it. Okay. Now, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this in half into 2 triangles. So to do that, I'm going to put it on an angle here, and I want to make sure I've got the 2 right triangles to go in the right spot. So I want dotted section on the top half there. So I'm going to cut this way. So I'm going to put it in like that. Okay. This is going to be my bottom section. That'll be my top section. Now I'm just going to glue this one into place here. And I'm going to glue this bottom one to place here. And I've got the dotted side down this time. Now, when I go to glue this one in place, I want this one, I'm putting it to the line first. So it's got a little, I've got a little bit of a white edge, but it's more important for me to make sure that my center is matching because I don't want a white line in the middle there. I can trim the white edge off on the edges if I have it, or I can actually edge it with a brush and ink if I want to get rid of that, if I want to, or I can just trim the edge and get rid of it. So next thing I'm going to do is if you look here closely, I tone on tone stenciled this one. So I just took a flowered stencil that I had. In this case, it just happened to be, not that one. I did 2 different stenciling earlier. It is a Tim Holtz one. And it's called Bouquet Flowers, I think is what it's called. So I'm just going to put it back in here. And I used, what's the ink color I used here? Abandoned Coral was the color that I used. So I have, first thing I am going to do though, I'm going to mask all the way down the edge here. Oh, pull this out of the way. I'm going to mask down the edge here because I don't want ink spreading over to the other half. Actually, I'm going to grab a little bit more here. I don't want it in that top corner. I don't want it crossing over up here. So, let me backwards. So, I just wanted a little bit of tone on tone. Almost like a damask look to it. If you had a wider stencil, you could use that. I'm going to move this over. Hello there, Miss Heather, how are ya? Next I'm using the Great Big Butterfly, and I want it to go across, and the reason I want that is so that when the card opens up, it is going to stand. So I am going to add some foam tape to that to make it do that. But I'm only going to put it on the 1/2. So first of all, I'm going to check kind of the angle that I want the butterfly on, and I only want it to come to the edge here. So I kind of want it to stay on this half. I don't want any tape on this half because you won't be able to open it. Wait a second. What happened now? This is something new. I don't know about this. What's going on? What happened? I was on the Facebook page. I didn't see anything. Oh, crap. That's not good. Oh, no. Heather. Well, you've been doing a lot of stuff. Crap, Heather. Oh, no. Saying some prayers for you. Okay, so when we open the card, the butterfly will stand up. So now what we do need to do on the inside is I have this little flower here. Oh, Heather. It is. But you could pull out anything. You could use anything you want. I'm going to use this flower. This beautiful flower here. And you use the foam tape because you want to make it hold it in place. Make it just a little bit shorter. It's so gorgeous. There's so many things you can do with it. It was kind of like I can do this. I can do this. I can do that. You really, I mean, there's no shortage of things you can do. Save that. I'm just going to pop that there so that when I open the card, it will stay like that. Okay? So now I also used Have a Brilliant Day. I need the Hello Friend for another one. Have a Brilliant Day. And there is little butterflies. Little butterflies. There's a little purple ones. I think it goes the other way though. It's a blue one. There's a little blue one. There's so much in here, so put a little blue one there. I need another little purple one. Where's the little purple? There he is. Little purple one. Okay, so let's put the Have a Brilliant Day up here. Tuck it in the corner up here. Put the little butterfly. Just above it right there. Put the little blue one over here. There. The last thing that I did, so that's the card. And then the last thing that I did on here was add, well actually I did two last things. I added some little, is there a yellowy gold? Where did I tuck these? Little gold ones. Here. One over here. And one over here. So maybe those are a little bit bigger than these ones. Yeah, I think I went up a size. Go one size larger. Yeah, that's a better size for this 6x6 card. Okay, let me glue those in place. Hi, Carol. Thanks, Erin. But you can see how easy it is. The paper does so much. Okay, and that glue will dry clear. The last thing that I did do with this one, I used some gold silk on it. Does anybody else have any of this Spellbinders gold silk? I did a splash of gold silk. So let me just do this. don't want great big honking splashes, but I find just a little bit. So that's card number 1, guys. I don't know if can you see this little bit of Scaldy splashes on there? Okay, so that's number 1. So let's come in here and let's do, what's this one? Okay, this is this gold foil one. This one's simple. So this is the, just a quick little Flight of Fancy. So much, it's so easy actually when the paper is just, makes it so gorgeous. So I just cut a gold foil card that is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I said this one was Harvest Gold. I'm just gonna stick this down quickly. Because again, when the paper is so beautiful, and what I thought about this one, it could be a birthday card, it could be an anniversary card, it could be a how are you doing friend card. Let me just center this in the middle of the card. Probably my biggest challenge, getting things centered. And then I'm gonna just, so this one here then is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And this is the, one side is peachy colored and one side is Flight of Fancy. And the paper does all the work for you, I think, on this one. I mean, sometimes you don't want to cut the paper up. So we'll do this one, and then we'll tackle one of the more intense ones. But you can see how this paper makes it so easy to create with. Let me just make sure I've got this going the right way. And what I found as well, which is similar when I was using the Lilac Garden card, I used my leftovers to, you can take it and you can create the inside, finish the inside with them. So let's just take and let's center this. Don't stick, don't stick, don't stick. It stuck too soon. And on this one, I took some of my, so these Pink Fresh ones. Do a spot there, spot here, spot in here, and let's go with that size. I love these umber shade ones, and they just work so nicely with these cards, with the colors on these cards. And again, I did some gold splash on this one too. It just, another one done. Real simple, real easy. You could put a little birthday wishes across there if you wanted to. Or not, you could save it for the inside. Okay, let's do the gatefold Have a Brilliant Day one that looks like this. So, start with a 6 by 12 base. I use the teal paper on this one. And then score it at 3 and 3. So I fold that in, burnish it. Fold it in and burnish it. Now I'm going to glue into the middle. If we look inside, it has kind of the mums, which is the flip side of this paper. So I'm going to glue that onto the inside. Put that one over too far. Ugh, I'm having a tough time gluing straight tonight. There. Yep, okay, I'm having an issue tonight. What is going on here? Not over far enough. What's going on in the sun? There we go. That's better. Okay. Then these two sides are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and they're both the same, just to have a little bit of space around them. And I'm going to glue those on as well. It was a kit in the store. I don't know if there's anything left. I went online right beforehand. There were when I was in the store on Friday. I checked beforehand. I don't know if there's anything left because I didn't see it. But I was surprised to see some more stock back in the store. Because it looks like there's ephemera back in the store. I don't know if there's 8 by 8 back in the store. I don't know if Heather's still here and can tell us. Okay, so then I took, I have little pieces here. Have a Brilliant Day. And that little guy there. Where is that little guy? This little guy. So, what I did for this one is I am going to put foam tape on this side here. And I'm going to put foam tape on him up here, but not on this edge. So it is scrapbooking techniques, right? Or folio techniques. When we put things in like we want to capture and be able to put the photos in when we haven't decided on the photos. It's the same technique. And the reason I'm doing it is so that we can hold the gatefold closed. So I'm going to do it like this. Make sure it's lined up. And then I'm going to put my little, I'm going to put my, so I just want to put some tape across this side of him here. Like so. And then the card can then lock into place under there. Okay? And now I'm going to grab some turquoise crystals. And I think I'll put one here and one up here. And I think I'll do one down there. And that is another, okay, you see rub-ons and 12 by 12 pattern paper. I saw ephemera. I don't know, there were some ephemera there a little while ago. I wonder if Heather has some more on order. So that is that card done. And you can always put, like I cut, what did I do with them? When you're doing the inside, okay, what did I do with them? I cut, die cut some, there. You can do some, if you're making a card, you could edge it and you can put that on the inside, although when you're doing a card that opens up, you might want to put the writing on the side. But so that's that card done. So let me do the one with the belly band, the one that goes like this, because it's a little more, and show you how I did that. Get all my little pearls out of the way here. Okay, so again, I started with a turquoise base. That was 6 by 12. And then what I did was I scored it at 2 inches, 6 inches, and 10 inches. Okay? So now I'm going to burnish it. The 2, the 10, and the 6. Next, I cut from the paper that had out of this cord. So this is one sheet of paper that I cut this out. And I cut the biggest sheet here, which goes, so this card is going to go like this. Okay? This again. This sheet is going to go here. The biggest piece, and it is 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. This one here is 1 3/4 by 1 7/8. Same for here. And then you're going to end up with a little scrap that is left over that is 3/8 by 5 7/8. So they're all 5 7/8 long. So I'm going to glue this one in place, just on the inside. And I just use this as a decorative trim on the inside. And then I'm going to glue one on the panel here. And I'm going to glue one here. And then this one is going to go here. So they all fold in, and you can see when you put them in place, you want to make sure that these lines line up, okay? Now, what I did on the inside was a stencil, and it is a Stamperia stencil that I have. I started with the center section like so. I think I'll move it down slightly to get the whole butterfly on this time. And what did I do with my purple tip? And the color I used this time was Broken China. Distress Oxide Broken China. And again, I'm just doing this to get a, should put this over here, tone on tone effect. And I'm going right across the inside panels. So I'm going to peel that off. And then I'm going to do it on, take a little bit, and I'm going to go, so I'm going to go this back down here. And I'm going to, I think I'll just take this piece here with the flower. Do the inside panel here. And I'm going to put some down the inside over here. I'm going to cover up here. Don't want anything to go on to the piece where I had that, and I don't want it to overlap the pattern I've already got down. So I'll kind of duplicate what I've got over here. I love this look of the tone on tone. Okay, kind of looks like wallpaper. Then what I did was I took this ephemera piece. You can see that's the look of the tone on tone. I'm going to peel that off. Peel this off. I'm going to put and glue this one into the center here. Not popping up any of this because I don't want it sticking up. I almost hate to cover this up, but I do want to put this on here. And then I took one of the little squares off of one of the pieces of paper that says "Hello Friend," and I'm just tucking it down here in the corner. I just think that's a nice little note for your friend. Hello, friend. So this is the gatefold. Fold over like so. And this is where the belly band goes over the top of it. And I created the belly band by taking this piece here. Ugh, let me get some ink off my fingers, or I know it's going to land on the ribbon. Do I think that's going to come off? Guess we're good. So I've just got some plain white ribbon. I'm going to glue it onto the one end. Oh, let me get this off of here too. Otherwise it's going to be all over the card. I'm going to glue it onto the one piece of ribbon here. You can hear my cat at the top of the stairs meowing for Mommy. Mommy, it's been too long. You've been downstairs too long. So I've just glued it on the one side. I'm going to put it down. I can hear her. I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to see how much ribbon it takes. And I'm going to cut it right there. And then I'm going to glue that other piece on. To make my belly band. Just like so. Let that dry for a minute so it doesn't stick to the paper. It off. Okay, gotta leave it alone, die. Depending on how tight you do the ribbon, it will be a tight fit. There you go. Did that one a little bit looser. The last one was a very, very tight fit. And I'm going to finish it off with a couple of, I think I will use the turquoise pearls. Did I put them down? There. There's another small one there. There is that card. Now it's 9 o'clock, guys. So, which ones I did? I didn't do the tag, and I didn't do this one. Although I could do this one really fast, because it's just a matter of me layering. So let me just whip this one on. So, this is me putting down. Oh, no, I did do foam tape on this one first, so let me do that. It's so much fun to work with this collection. Everything just is gorgeous. And anything you design with it will just be beautiful, people. It really is a matter of saying, I could do this, or I could do that, or... And it just feels so right for this time of year. All the flowers and all the birds back and everything and the warm weather just feels so perfect. It's just such a fun collection to work with. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that opens right. Layer this right on the whole front. Okay. That's going to put this one. So this was the soft amethyst. I cut this about 5 3/4. Just wanted a little bit of edging. Oh, should be another. I just realized it didn't cut. There should be another piece. I gotta cut one piece here because it looks like I didn't cut it. So I can see here that there is a piece right there. So let me, I thought I cut it, but I guess I didn't. Where did I put on my paper? That one. Where did I set the new stack of paper? How is it possible to lose stuff on your desk? Although we all seem to do it, don't we? Oh my gosh. I just had it. Where did it go? Maybe I'm not making, oh, there it is. Okay, so it is this paper here. So this one needs to be 5.5 by 5.5. This in the center. Oh, it's almost like I don't want to cut this and use up this pretty side, but sometimes you have to do that all the time. I don't have enough room. I don't have enough room. I have a whole room and I still don't have enough room. I have a very long, narrow room though. It's really not a very big room. I'm just blessed to have a room that I can call my own. Center this piece. And then from the ephemera pack, I put this piece across the bottom. See what I'm doing here? Put this right across the bottom. And then I took the big butterfly. This little guy. Big butterfly. Where's the big butterfly? How am I missing the big butterfly? Okay, there's the hello friend. Let me do the big butterfly. Almost done. Put one on the hello friend. Put it across the top. And then we're going to put some, so these are some more of the pink fresh dots. And I put 5 little ones on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, then the very last thing I did was I did use some more gold silk. Just felt like I needed that little bit. And then we'll be done. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. Turn the card around sometimes when I'm doing this to get a okay. And that is that card done. You can see the gold splatter a little bit better on that one for some reason. There you go, guys. Whole selection of cards that we just whipped off again. So there's the one with the little belly band. Oh, look at me, I'm all askew here. Have a brilliant day. Flight of Fancy. I think that's all of the ones that we did. Yep. So, give it a go, guys. Thanks for sticking it out with me. Make some time for yourselves. Cheap therapy, get in your craft studios sometime this next week. Have a great week. Thanks for spending some time with me, guys. See you soon.